About 8 or 9 years ago, before I started my own personal health and fitness journey, I used to have a crazy sweet tooth. I'm talking an entire box of snack cakes, pies, cookies, you name it. If it was full of sugar, I wanted it. But because of it, my energy sucked. And when I actually started trying to work out and exercise, struggled to drop stubborn fat and build lean muscle as a result. I knew that if I was going to get my body healthy, if I was going to get my energy back, if I was going to feel the way that I felt I should be feeling at just 20 years old, then this was an area of my nutrition that I was going to have to tackle. Here's the 5-step process that I implemented to overcome the sweet tooth, get in the best shape of my life, and help my clients do the same. First off is I started prioritizing hydration consistently. See, being dehydrated feels similar to being hungry. And when you're dehydrated and you feel hungry, typically you're gonna lean towards those sweet, heavily processed foods. So I started consistently getting in 75 to 100 ounces of water a day. And the more water I consumed, the less desire I had to eat these hyper palatable processed foods. Second is getting to bed on time. The longer I stayed up, the more junk I craved. After about 9 o'clock, every hour that passed, I was going back to the pantry and finding something else. So if I stayed up till 1 o'clock, between 9 and 1, I might have consumed 1,000 calories of straight crap. So I made sure that I was in the bed by 9 or 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I've been doing that pretty much ever since. No matter where I am, I'm pretty much gonna call it a night around 9 or 10 o'clock. 3 is I stopped eating distracted. I stopped eating in the car, stopped eating while I was working, stopped eating and trying to watch TV and all these different things. When I started being present with the food that I was consuming, made me so much more aware and cognizant of what it was that I was eating. And this naturally leads to better decisions. When you actually sit down, take a look at your food, chew slowly, which also improves your digestion dramatically, which is something that I struggle with as well. It made it so much easier to really think through like, okay, cool, I'm eating this meal right now. I'm eating this, this, and this. Next meal, I need that. Like it allows you just a quick moment to breathe, to de-stress, and to realize what your body needs as opposed to what cravings you might be having. Before is I had to actually wean my taste buds off of these hyper palatable, super sweet foods. There is gonna be an aspect of this that requires some discipline and some willpower. Like I love the hacks, I love the tricks and the tools, but I would be lying if I said that a big part of it wasn't telling yourself not to eat said food. So I went from snack cakes and cookies and pies to berries, honey, Greek yogurt. This allowed me to still get that sweet taste, but also get something that was beneficial for my body and wasn't just empty calories, empty carbohydrates like these super sweet foods are. And then lastly, and I think this is probably the most important for me personally, is that I planned indulgences. I am not afraid of sweets or afraid of carbs by any stretch of the imagination. I decided that once a week, I'd allow myself to get a slice of cheesecake or a donut or a crumble cookie or something like that. I only have 2 rules in this though. Rule number 1 has to be 1 serving size. Like I'm not buying a big 24 count box of cookies. I'm not buying an entire pie or an entire cake. It's individual slices, individual cookies, or individual brownie, whatever it is, individual thing of ice cream, like a small junior size container of ice cream, individual size, 1 serving size. And then also I don't bring it into the house. So typically my wife and I go out on a date night every Thursday. Typically that's when I would have that sweet thing that I had been craving or whatever. And what I found is that it was actually way easier to deny myself sweets throughout the week if I knew like, hey, you got, this coming up this Thursday. If you just wait it out, then you'll be able to get this. But if you don't wait it out, then forget about it on Thursday. Like that was kind of my mindset. And I would much rather enjoy what I actually wanted on Thursday as opposed to just succumbing to the craving I had and going and grabbing some random junk from somewhere real quick and then throwing me off my game. Once I got control of my sweet tooth, it became so much easier to stay consistent with working out, getting up for a morning walk. My energy levels weren't going up and down so frequently, so it was much easier to stay consistent and even keel with things. Most of all, I had no more masters. And what I mean by that is that if you have a craving, a food craving that controls you, whether that be fried foods, extremely salty foods, sweet foods, like anything that you know isn't beneficial for you to continue to consume and consume and consume, but you feel like you can't stop, you're a slave to it, and it is your master. And for me personally, I ain't nobody's slave. So big thing for me was like, hey, I gotta overcome this because I know that it's not healthy. I know that the consumption of sugar leads to diabetes, heart disease, like all these different things that the overconsumption of sugar leads to. I didn't want a part of that. I wanted zero parts of that. And I was already starting to feel the effects of my dieting choices. So I had to nip it in the bud. And this is how I did it. It actually allowed me to drop 15 pounds of body fat, put on about 10 pounds of lean muscle, and improve my gut health dramatically, which honestly changed everything for me. And I've been using the same exact framework to help all of our clients do exactly the same. So hopefully it was helpful for you as well. If you got value from this, you'll get a lot more value from our weekly newsletter. If you click the first link down in the description, you'll be able to sign up for that and get things like this directly to your inbox so that I'll come to you instead of you having to come to me here on YouTube. And if you've been listening for a while, or you feel like, hey, you know what, I need some guidance and some accountability and some strategy around my health because I've got some things that I got to master in my health to get to where I want to be, take our transformation quiz, which is the second link down in the description, and we'll help you get that done as well. So make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on so that you don't miss the next upload going forward. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.